doesn't matter who you are, what you do, or what kind of dog you have, Flyball is the sport for you. Welcome back, everyone. It's Alex for another Flyball and Friends interview. Today we have someone from British Columbia that we will be talking to. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, welcome, Mary. I'm so glad that you could take time out of your day to be here with me. Could you introduce yourself for everyone out there in the world?
Of course. My name is Mary Young, and I live in Abbotsford, British Columbia. And I have been, playing flyball for pretty close to 30 years now. I know I don't look that old, and I started when I was 5. I play with my own team. I started with a group that was really, really small. A long time ago, we were called the Fur Flies. We sort of just changed the name into Chaotic Canines, and that's pretty much been my life. And we're still going to this day. We keep our dog team, small and tight, and that's kind of who I am.
That's awesome. So how many dogs do you have then?
So I have 4 dogs. I have 2 cattle dogs and 2 Malinois. My oldest dog is close to 17, and then my youngest is 2.5. So awesome. Will more be joining my pack? Probably, because it's the addiction, right? We got to feed the addiction.
That's awesome. So is just the one retired and one in training, the other 2 racing?
No, I actually have 3 racing.
So
my youngest is 2.5. She's only been racing for, a year, I think. She started, and again, start slowly, but yeah, I do have 3 active racing dogs, and sometimes my team is my 3 dogs, and we've got 1 hype dog, so I'm always scrambling for handlers. Who wants to run a Malinois?
That's awesome. So what do you do for a living then, Mary?
Well, I actually do a couple of things. Currently during the summer, I'm working 2 full-time jobs because I have a dock diving pool. So with the explosion of COVID, dock diving has been one of those things that is safe. And we're an outdoor facility, so we're jam-packed doing, basically teaching the sport of dock diving 11 to 6, 7 days a week. And I also have pet stores, so I run Paw Street Market out in British Columbia. I have 4 pet stores that are retail locations. Thankfully, I have amazing staff, but I do the management, from my house, which is amazing. And I have been in the dog industry forever, so I'm very lucky and fortunate to be able to do all of my hobbies, and my life is all surrounded by animals. So
that's awesome. So you are very busy.
I am a little bit, again, chaotic. So yeah, life is a little crazy right now, but I make it through. And by October, when the pool shuts down, it's like, okay, I can sleep now.
That's awesome. So what got you playing this crazy sport, flyball?
Well, when I was young, 5, I got a cattle dog from some backyard breeder. I was working in a pet store, and it was literally a Polaroid photo of a litter of puppies, and they were 4 months old, and he couldn't sell them. And I said, I'll take one. Didn't even live in a place that could take a dog. And I knew enough about cattle dogs because I'd been working in the pet industry, and it was the breed of choice for me. Yeah. I wasn't in a position because I was renting and I wasn't allowed dogs. So the guy brought me a puppy. I had a good friend that said, I'll take your puppy until you can move. I went home and gave my notice that day. And then I realized how much energy a cattle dog had. And again, thankfully I was in the pet channel. So some of the people that I worked with did agility and flyball. So they introduced me to the sport, and it was evident right away that the dog was going to be amazing at all of the things, and that I needed to have that outlet. So the rest is history. I got the dog in 91. I think we probably started racing in 93, and spent those couple years just kind of bonding and all of that. But that dog got me started. And like I said, the addiction is strong. Once you're in, you can't get out.
For sure. Now, is there anything you would recommend to someone starting out in flyball?
The biggest thing that I feel is build a relationship with your dog. Play with your dog, but build a relationship that you guys have together, like a person, their dog, doesn't matter the age, but find something, reward the dog. But you have to have that strong foundation to start with.
For sure.
So that would be my number 1 recommendation.
For sure, that's a good one. Now, how often would you say you guys practice then, your team?
Our team practices once a week. And we do, again, we don't put the game together. We just don't hammer away at boxes. We do a lot of takeaways, what dog, we work on passing or work on box work or whatever. So yeah, once a week though, a couple hours a week.
For sure. Now, is there anything you do at home then to help with flyball?
I do lots of things myself, and whether it's just a couple wall hits as you're walking by the garage, or doing recalls, everything correlates in all the sports. So yeah, there's always foundation stuff that I probably get done once a day with my crew, but little spurts.
Okay. Now, how often would you say you guys go to tournaments then?
Well, we're lucky here. We're in Region 7, which is BC, Washington, and Oregon. And until COVID, we probably had a tournament a month. So we've been, the 10 to 12 tournaments a year. And, that's why the addiction is so strong, because it's, wow, you can get points pretty good if you get those 25-point runs.
What would be the furthest place you've traveled then?
Well, actually, last year I went to Florida. And I ran on an open team with the St. Petersburg Dog Club. So that's the furthest I've traveled. I took my 2 Malinois because I was doing a dog diving competition, and it just happened to be at the same time as Flyball. And so it was fun, and what a great experience.
That's a long trip for you. Did you fly or did you drive?
Oh, 100% flew. I don't think I could ever commit to that kind of drive. So for me, it was a couple-hour journey to Seattle, and then it was a 5-hour flight to Florida. And then, of course, the climate and all that, but it was good, and my dogs did great. So yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
Fair enough. Do you have a favorite tournament that you like to go to besides any of the championship, anything like that?
I've never been to a championship, but everybody here again hosts a really good tournament. They've always got fun things planned, or they're just smooth, they're well run. So I couldn't pick a favorite. That would be unfair, because they all do a good job.
That's fair. Now, do you have anything that somebody else would consider weird that you take to a tournament?
I think people consider me a little weird. I'm always the fun, jovial. I like to, my Malinois are they have My Little Pony name. So I have a My Little Pony mascot that I have to bring, and it has to sit at our crating area. So yeah, probably people walk by and go, wow, okay, she's the one, stay away from her.
That's funny. Now, what would be one of the more important things you learned when you first started playing Flyball?
Reward your dog, put the energy in. If you're putting out zero energy, what's your expectation of your dog? Mm-hmm. So I'm energetic, and I give my dogs as much as I can, and I have the same expectation for them. And when I am not in the zone to play, and not at a tournament, of course, but I don't play with my dogs if I'm not in the right headspace. So that would be my big thing. Put your energy in, you'll get it back with your dog.
For sure. Now, is there a place that you would love to go in the world to compete, train, or even just watch?
Well, I would love to go to Can-Am. I mean, I've never been, and it is definitely a goal of mine to go, and I would love to compete. And I love the fact, I'd love to put a Malinois team together and bring my Malinois, and I'd love to have a cattle dog team. That'd be feisty. So yes, I would love to go to that. That would be a goal for me. So I don't know when it'll happen, but yes, that would be mine.
That's awesome. Now, do you prefer starting or passing more?
I love start. I love to start. There's nothing better to nail a perfect start, and I've done it a few times. And I love everything about that first race, that first set off with both the dogs, and you could just see them checking out each other. And so that would be my favorite spot for sure.
That's awesome. So what exactly do you like about playing Flyball?
It's a lot of things, to be honest with you. I love how excited the dogs are. Like, that would probably be the number one. I love the fact that it's an inexpensive sport that we can all play. I like the teammanship amongst your own club. I love the camaraderie amongst other clubs. I like the judges in the ring. They're smiling, they're laughing. Everybody's just having fun with their dogs. That's probably the biggest thing for me, is just to see the smiling faces. And whether your dog's running 10 seconds, whether it's a first time, whether it's 10 years old, it's just all of the feels that come with it. So
that's awesome. Now, do you have an early memory of Flyball that you could share with us?
One of my favorite memories was at one of my first tournaments in this janky little building that we had put together. It was a matted tournament, and one of the girls that has become a good friend of mine, her daughter was fast asleep at the start line in her lap at 5 years old. And it was like, wow, this is a good family sport. And just that picture alone spoke volumes of just the, family atmosphere. You can fall asleep in a barking dog ring, So that one was good for me. That's a good memory.
That's cool. What about a favorite memory of Flyball? Do you have any one of those, whether it's on or off the racing lanes?
Again, I am not sure I could pick a favorite. We've done a lot of crazy stuff here, like some of the get-togethers after a flyball tournament that we've had. I've been a part of hosting a lot of tournaments. So sometimes just being able to award people or reward people, I guess it's just, again, too many to list in honesty, but yeah.
Okay, now do you have any personal goals playing the sport?
My goals, I'm point hungry. I admit it, I like to run clean and I like to get points on my dogs. The goals is just to keep accumulating to as healthy as my dogs can be, and just keep racing until we can get there. And so I'd love to hit the Hobbs. That's probably my goal. And will I ever get there with one of my dogs? I hope so. Not with COVID though. Losing time here, folks.
Yeah, I hear ya. Now, do you have anyone in flyball that you look up to as a mentor, whether it was when you were first starting out or continuing to this day?
There's a few. When I first started out, I was a part of the Superdog team for years. And so a lot of the people that I met through all the provinces, not so much in the States, but, Katie Kaler's one that early days, she had a Dalmatian and she was doing flyball, and I was like, wow, she came out to seminars, and she'd probably be one of the people that I would say I looked up to and still do for a lot of years, and training techniques and just helpful to the sport, to improve the sport.
That's awesome. Now, do you have any hobbies outside of playing flyball?
I like to do all of the dog sports. So I don't think I have a hobby that doesn't involve the dogs, but I compete in agility. I compete in barn hunt. I do dock diving is a really big love for me. Clearly, I have a pool now. And I try to do it all. If I hear about a sport, I want to try it with my dogs. And so, yes, I'm a true addict, and I just keep feeding the addiction. So bring it on. Figure out something else we can do.
For sure. Now, I think that's all the questions I have for you. The only thing I have left is if you could challenge someone to do an interview with me. Do you have anyone in mind?
I think Carl Braun from Run Free would be a very good person to interview. He would be my number one choice. So if you could tag that guy, let's do it.
For sure. Well, thanks again, Mary, for doing this. It's been great getting to meet you and getting to hear all your stories. So thanks again for taking time out of your day to be here with me. And other than that, hopefully we'll see each other on the racing lanes real soon.
Would love to. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks again, Mary. It was great getting to talk to you. If you guys are new here or just haven't subscribed yet, make sure you consider doing so. Hit that notification bell just so you get notified when any new videos drop. If you guys would like to check out my Instagram page, or if you would like any more information on flyball itself, check out the links in the description below. If you guys would like to check out Mary's team as well, I will also leave a link down there you could check out. If you liked today's interview, make sure you throw a like on this video or leave some comments down below if you have any questions about flyball in general, or if you have any questions for me or for Mary. Other than that, thanks again for joining me, and hopefully we'll see each other real soon. Until next time, guys, see you then.